punk revolution. Now it's time to review Weezer. I love Weezer. I love Weezer. Can I be honest with you? It's Weezer time. Ever since I became a music critic, I have been listening to, obviously, a lot of music. I mean, my taste hasn't really changed that much, I don't think, since I've become a music critic. I still really mostly listen to, like, punk and metal and indie rock and those kind of genres. But one thing I've learned about myself since becoming a music critic, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit this because it's not very cool. One thing I've learned is, I think Weezer is one of my favorite bands. I think Weezer is one of my favorite bands. And I'm ashamed to admit it. And you're probably wondering, why are you so ashamed to admit that Weezer is one of your favorite bands? That's totally acceptable. I mean, Blue Album and Pinkerton are great. You're just talking about Blue Album and Pinkerton, right? You're not talking about later Weezer, right? Well, yes, Blue Album and Pinkerton are their best, but I'm going to be honest with you. I had some of the most fun reviewing any album I've ever had reviewing any album when I was reviewing Van Weezer. I also had a lot of fun reviewing OK Human, and I sure as heck had a lot of fun reviewing Seasons Spring. I guess to put it simply is just reviewing Weezer makes me happy because not only do I have fun talking about Weezer, but I also have a lot of fun listening to Weezer in preparation for the reviews. So my brain is just like, my brain is wired to, like, when it sees Weezer, it just, my whole body gets happy because I'm like a dog, it's like a toy. It's Weezer. I get to review Weezer. So yes, I freaking love Weezer, and yes, that includes the newer Weezer, because frankly, Weezer's newer stuff is actually pretty good since the White Album. I'm not gonna freaking lie, I really enjoyed their Season Spring album, and now we're reviewing Season Summer, so I'm happy as a clam about getting to review this, and I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about this album, so buckle up, and let's actually get the review started. Let's start by taking a look at the album cover. So this album cover is very clearly just kind of a redux, I don't know what the right word is, they're repurposing the album cover from Season Spring, which was like very green and beautiful and pretty, like it was in the Garden of Eden, hence why there was a song on the Season Spring album that was like, in the Garden of Eden. I'll admit, that was a pretty catchy album, if I still have that song memorized. So this new one, it's fiery, and it looks, it's obviously spring is a very beautiful, warm, fun kind of season, and this new album cover, it's like fiery, and it's obviously summer's really hot, so it's gonna be a hot album cover where everything's on fire, and it's, thematically, these two albums have been kind of covering these topics about angels and like traveling through heaven and angels coming to earth and stuff, and like, I don't know, I will admit that is probably the dumbest, really dumb. It's just definitely the dumbest part of this entire Seasons project is thematically. I don't know what the heck is going on. It seems like Rivers Cuomo has this kind of Dante's Inferno fantasy, like, you know how there's the Dante's Inferno stories about traveling through heaven, hell, and purgatory. It seems like Rivers Cuomo, some reason, has this kind of idea in his head that there's something about Weezer's pop rock infused with metal, weirdo, corny pop music that somehow makes a Dante's Inferno thing appropriate to it. I don't know. The point is the album covers, they're following this theme. Rivers Cuomo singing about, I don't know, angels on their lawn chair or whatever coming down from heaven to like make mischief on earth or something just so stupid, and it's just like, oh my god, why do I like this band? This band is so corny and so dumb. I hate Weezer. This is so corny and so uncool and so cringe, and it's like, what is wrong with this dude? And then the next 5 songs are like, every single song is a freaking banger that's just like some of the catchiest stuff I've ever heard. Like literally the past week that I've been listening to this album for preparing it, I have had every single song on this album. There's only 5 songs. There's the intro and then 5 songs. Every single song on this album I've had stuck in my head, like deeply, like literally all day. And it's not just 1 or 2 of the most catchy songs. It's literally every single song. At some point I'll have the chorus in my head. I'm like, Oh, which song is that one? Oh, it's Cuomoville. Cuomoville? What the hell? What is Cuomo? Why are you writing a song called Cuomoville? Do you understand? That to me, I live in New York City, and I think of, Governor Cuomo, so I think of Cuomoville as New York City, the governor who got in trouble for sexual misconduct and was just a massive D-bag. You see what I'm saying, though? It's like I'm juggling these internal feelings about, like, what is these lyrics? What are these song titles? Why is this stupid? What is Rivers Cuomo singing about? Like, why isn't this? Why? There's just so many things about this that makes me uncomfortable. Like in the song, What's the Good of Being Good? There's this like bridge where Rivers Cuomo just like all of a sudden like gets really real. Like he opens up with these lyrics about like being backstabbed by his friend who's like slept with his wife or something. Just something really uncomfortable. It just sounds like, whoa, I'm having fun listening to your pop rock, and then all of a sudden you just like drop this bombshell about like, it's like, there's so many just like, dude, Rivers Cuomo, what is wrong with you? Like, there's just so many moments I'm just like, just so grossed out and just like, ew, it's so corny. It's so corny. But once you learn to just take off your inhibitions. Let Rivers Cuomo's just juvenile, wacky, dumb lyrics and dumb voice just enter into your body and enter into your soul and listen to those guitar riffs that are just blue like jazz, blue like jazz. Like literally every single song stuck in my freaking head. Every song. That's the thing. It's like the power of good songwriting. Like Pitchfork just has to go and trash this album. Like, oh, they literally said this is a yassified butt rock album, which is their way of saying it's not cool. They don't have anything to say about what the music is. They're just listening and they're hearing it's power pop rock with metal influence, which are not cool genres. They're hearing the dumb lyrics and they're like, we're not gonna like it because we have been trained to consume music as a commodity that we get to wear and show how cool we are to other people. And Weezer is not a cool commodity to wear, so we're gonna downvote it. We want lyrics about you whispering about how you're laying in bed and how you're sad because no one likes you. We want more indie, boring bullcrap with lyrics that don't say anything. If you take the creative decisions to take a risk and write a whole 4-album project about traveling through heaven and hell with a bunch of angels, and it's super corny, well, guess what? We're just gonna say you suck because Pitchfork only cares about what's cool. It's like reading Pitchfork and reading all these music critics trash Weezer, it reminds me of watching like a 15-year-old like who's like, oh, Blue's Clues is so lame. I hate Blue's Clues. It's like, oh, it's so like Blue's Clues is for little kids. And then I'm just here like, yeah, Blue's Clues is for little kids. That's the freaking point. Like the point of Weezer isn't to be cool. It's to like just shred your heart out. You can just tell Weezer's having a lot of fun writing these songs. They're really writing I mean, these melodies, these harmonies, these chord progressions, these guitar solos, these weird metal riffs and bridges. Like, it's a lot of creativity. They're really complex songs, believe it or not. As stupid as they sound, they're really complex. It's just incredible. The fact that I've had every single song stuck in my head says that literally every single song on this EP or album is good. Pitchfork, you need to listen to the music. You need to listen to music. Stop. It's just so embarrassing, Pitchfork, the way you were just completely only caring about how cool an album is. You don't know anything. You don't know anything about music. And the fact that you treat music completely about how cool it makes you look that's like the least cool thing ever. It's like we're all looking at you, Pitchfork, like, what's wrong with you? Why are you trashing how uncool Weezer is? No shit, Weezer's not cool. It's freaking Weezer. They're not supposed to be cool. It's like a 15-year-old dissing Blue's Clues for being for kids. You just look like an idiot because once you finally turn 20, you realize, oh, Blue's Clues is supposed to be for kids and I can even enjoy it as an adult. Do you understand? Every single song. Even though every single song kicks ass, the last song, Thank You and Good Night, that song is like one of Weezer. Like, that song to me is on par with Pinkerton and Blue Album era Weezer. I'm not even kidding, because That chorus, thank you and good night. I'll be seeing you and I'll be seeing you. It sounds like to me like a freaking like emo My Chemical Romance. And then it has this insane, I mean, it's the last song on the album, so of course the thank you and good night is a good way of saying goodbye to the audience for listening to the album. And then like the last minute, there's like this sick guitar solo. It's just like, yes, it's rock and roll. Every freaking indie musician nowadays wants to just put on a bunch of guitar pedals with reverb and delay and, you know, just make like boring, bland shoegaze where they're not writing anything, and then they find a trendy looking person to whisper into the microphone about nothing. It's just crap. It's trendy. It's a commodity. Weezer says, I don't care. I mean, obviously Weezer's writing pop rock. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. That song, what was it, Records? It does really upset me just because it's so bluntly just like, it sounds like just a pop radio friendly rock music. The records in my head go round and round. It's just so dumb. It's dumb, okay? But we forgive them. We forgive them. Because it's Weezer. It's freaking Weezer. Just stop. Everyone stop insulting Weezer. Just enjoy the music. It's fun. It's great. It's literally good songwriting. Like, it's objectively good songwriting. It's hard. It's way harder to write a really, really, really good epic rock, metal, power pop song that maybe is really simple, like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, or whatever, real simple structure. It's way harder to write a song that fits into that simple structure and make it amazing than it is to write like an experimental, you know, linear song with like a bunch of distortion on it where we're all acting crazy on it. It's hard to write good songs like how Weezer's doing. And Rivers Cuomo's voice, I mean, it's always been amazing, but it's literally getting better. He's like an opera singer. All right, I'm done. Can you tell I like this? I'm dripping in sweat. It's freaking... It's hot. Which is exactly the conditions you're supposed to review an album about summer. So, anyways, the only flaws I have is, yes, the lyrics are corny. Yes, I defend how corny they are, but I do think, honestly, like, maybe Pitchfork does have a point. Maybe they should just lower the corniness just a little bit. And the song Records, which is undoubtedly a phenomenal pop rock song, it literally is just overboard with the poppiness. But Thank You and Good Night is just a song. Alright, so I'm giving this an 8.8 out of 10. I feel bad because I know a lot of Weezer fans love this album, and other music critics just aren't giving it the positive reception it deserves. Because they only judge music by what's cool and what's not cool. And this is not cool, but I'm a music critic that really listens to the music, and I promise you it's freaking awesome. If you don't like it, listen to it like 3 times. It's a short album, it's easy to listen to, and I guarantee you it's gonna be stuck in your freaking head. Alright, I'm just dying. I'm drenched in sweat. Oh my god. I'm taking my underwear off too now. Just kidding. Later. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I always appreciate when you do that. That helps my videos grow. Shout out to Weezer. Honestly, so epic. Punk Revolution now.